The Dallas Cowboys are about to become unbeatable, so we're gonna be going through that and 5 other stories in today's video. So make sure to like this video, and if you want more Dallas Cowboys news content like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel by hitting that red button down below. The first story is Cowboys could end up with NFL's best trio at wide receiver. Dallas fans have not experienced an NFC Championship game since the 1995 season. You'd have to be 27 years old to claim to even be alive when Troy, Emmett, and Irvin defeated Brett Favre and the Packers in Texas Stadium for the right to play in Super Bowl 30. The Dallas Cowboys stepped out of their comfort zone this offseason in an effort to get the team past the divisional round of the playoffs for the first time since that season. There wasn't just one, but 2 splash moves made before the Carolina Panthers even went on the clock for the 2023 NFL Draft. In a masterclass of roster management and financial negotiation from Will McClay & Co., the Cowboys sent 2 fifth-round picks in separate deals to acquire W.R. Brandon Cooks and C.B. Stephon Gilmore. In addition to only giving up late-round draft capital, the Cowboys added a 6-time 1,000-yard wide receiver and a cornerback that still has all-pro skill for a fraction of what they would cost on the open market. The addition of those veterans to a wide receiver room and cornerback room that already feature some of the best young players in the NFL puts Dallas in a unique position. Has any NFL team ever had a top trio on both sides of the ball? Dallas has a chance to do just that. Today, let's examine the wide receiver room they will field in 2023. CeeDee Lamb. Any doubts about whether CeeDee Lamb could step up into the top wide receiver role for Dallas were quickly squashed. The doubters were out in full force when Lamb started the first 2 games of the 2022 season with only 9 receptions for 104 yards combined and 0 touchdowns. They were even louder in Week 3 after CeeDee had just 2 catches for 7 yards through 3 quarters on Monday Night Football in the Meadowlands versus the division rival Giants. In the 4th quarter of that same game, CeeDee had his he is him moment. Lamb took over the final frame and sparked a lethargic offense to victory with 6 catches for 80 yards and a beautiful one-handed touchdown grab in the back of the end zone. The Giants had no answer for him in the 4th quarter, and Cooper Rush only completed 4 other passes to players not named CeeDee Lamb during that stretch. Lamb finished the season with career highs in nearly every major receiving category on his way to NFL All-Pro Second Team and Pro Bowl honors. Entering his 4th season, and his first as a clear-cut WR1 in this league, the sky is the limit for Lamb. And even better, the Cowboys got some much-needed help to draw attention away from him. Brandon Cooks. The Cowboys had a handful of wide receivers show flashes opposite the formation from CeeDee Lamb throughout the 2023 season. Players like Noel Brown, Dennis Houston, and rookie tight ends Jake Ferguson and Peyton Hendershot all made plays at some point during the season. The problem is that none of them showed any consistency. If consistency is what the offense needs, that's exactly what it will get from veteran acquisition Brandon Cooks. He has played at least 15 games in 6 of his 9 seasons and has hit the 1,000-yard receiving milestone in all 6 of those seasons. Even in the 3 years where he didn't reach that mark, his lowest receiving total was 550 yards. That was his rookie year when he only appeared in 10 games. Cooks brings valued experience to the wide receiver room that is backed up by his production. Don't let the fact that he has been traded 4 times in his career deter you. He will tell you himself that he views it from a positive standpoint of teams wanting him as opposed to teams shipping him away. The 9-year veteran has accomplished more than all of the rest of the Cowboys' wide receiver room combined. In his 6 1,000-yard seasons, Cooks averages a stat line of 80 receptions for 1,131 yards and 7 TDs. For comparison, former Cowboys W.R. Amari Cooper posted a stat line of 78 divided by 1160 divided by 9 in 2022 as a member of the Cleveland Browns. If Brandon Cooks can match his average production, he will replace what the Cowboys' offense lost after the departure of Cooper. For those of you wondering, that's a good thing. Michael Gallup. 5-year veteran Michael Gallup is the 3rd piece of the Cowboys' wide receiver trio. He is also the wild card piece to determine whether or not this trio can be amongst the best in the NFL. Gallup tore his ACL in the 2nd quarter of a 2021 Week 17 loss versus the Arizona Cardinals. He caught a touchdown on the play but paid a heavy price. The former Colorado State product's absence in the playoffs was one of the main factors of the home wildcard round loss to the San Francisco 49ers. Despite the injury, the Cowboys showed their faith in Gallup by awarding him a brand new 5-year divided by $57 million contract after the season. After Amari Cooper was traded prior to the 2022 season, Gallup's return from injury was eagerly anticipated by both the team and fans alike. His return was lackluster, however. The 2022 version of Gallup was far from the player that we last saw on the field prior to his ACL injury. He was cleared physically by doctors to return in Week 4, but like Gallup admitted himself, there remained some mental hurdles to overcome. Both in practice and in games, Gallup did not display the same athleticism we are used to seeing from the sideline toe-tap magician. It appeared that he didn't trust his knee, and it affected all aspects of his game. Recent reports from OTAS say that MG13 is looking like his old self. He is looking springy and not afraid to plant off of his previously injured knee. If Lamb continues his upward trajectory, Cooks continues to just be himself, and Gallup returns to pre-injury form, the Cowboys will field the most lethal trio of wide receivers in the league. The second story is Cowboys have NFL's best pair of cornerbacks in 2023. The Dallas Cowboys have been one of the best defenses in the NFL over the last 2 years. In a rare feat, Dan Quinn's troops have led the league in forced turnovers in back-to-back seasons. Part of Dallas' ability to get takeaways at such a high rate is because they've had a strong group of cornerbacks who take advantage when the ball hits their hands. It's a position that's gotten even better with the addition of veteran CB Stephon Gilmore, who gives the Cowboys one of the best tandems in the league, along with Trevon Diggs. Dallas' dynamic duo stands tall among the rest. Pro Football Focus ranks both starting corners for the Cowboys inside the top 10 in their rankings of the top 32 cornerbacks ahead of the 2023 season. There are other teams who have a pair of CBs on the list, but no other team has two in the top 10. In a strange twist, the site ranked Gilmore ahead of his new teammate. The Cowboys traded for Gilmore to give Diggs the best CB across from him since he was drafted in 2020. Here's what PFF had to say about Gilmore. Stephon Gilmore, Dallas Cowboys. There was a stretch where Gilmore was the best cornerback in football, and while that may be in the past now, he showed in each of his past 2 stops that he can still play at a very high level. For the Colts, Gilmore recorded an 81.1 PFF coverage grade and allowed an 82.6 passer rating from 82 targets. He now gets the benefit of playing opposite Trevon Diggs in Dallas in 2023. After 2 injury-riddled seasons, Gilmore returned to form last year with the Colts. The veteran CB had 2 interceptions and 11 passes defensed on his way to becoming one of the top corners in the league again while playing in at least 16 games for the first time since 2019. In 11 seasons, Gilmore has 29 interceptions and at least 2 picks in 9 of his last 10 seasons. If he stays on the field, he'll get a chance to beat his career high of 6 interceptions playing across from Diggs. The league's top ballhawk comes in at no. 8 on the list. In his first 3 years in NFL, Diggs is tied for the lead in interceptions with 17 over that span. After his ridiculous sophomore season where he had 11 interceptions, Diggs had just 3 in 2022, which matched his rookie year number. However, Diggs remains one of the most dangerous CBs for quarterbacks to test. Trevon Diggs, Dallas Cowboys. Diggs didn't have the same gaudy interception stats in 2022 as he did the year before, but he was a better overall player. Over the past 2 seasons, he has given up some big plays but is a ball hawk and a dangerous cornerback to test. His play may see a boost this season with Stephon Gilmore on the other side keeping defenses honest. Having Gilmore across from him should mean Diggs will be thrown at more heading into his contract year, which could mean he'll see his interception total rise again. Aside from the turnovers, Diggs' play gets better as he continues to learn the position, and he gets beat less frequently. Diggs' best play could be coming with Gilmore on the opposite side and a new contract on the line. The third story is more chatter about Ezekiel Elliott returning to Dallas. After releasing running back Ezekiel Elliott earlier this offseason, rumor has it the Dallas Cowboys aren't willing to say their final goodbyes just yet. The team may be willing to bring Elliott back if the running back is open to a reunion. Now a free agent following Dallas' salary cap-savvy decision to cut Elliott, NFL Network's Mike Garafolo says the Cowboys are in the market to resign the 27-year-old ball career. Perhaps a return to Dallas, in the long run, can be where this is headed, Garafolo said on NFL Network. Garafolo cited Mike McCarthy as saying the decision to part ways with Elliott was pure capenomics, or a move based on money more so than skill or fit. And while this rings true, it doesn't change that Elliott was cut. To Garafolo, though, the idea of Zeke's return to the Cowboys to back up Tony Pollard is worth clamoring about. Dallas still believes that he's got football left. Garafolo continued. Now he's not going to be the lead back there, obviously, if he does return there. But from Garafolo's standpoint, the demand to add Elliott to an NFL roster has been scarce enough to point toward a mutual rekindling between Zeke and Dallas. Cowboys rumors, Trevon Diggs, Dallas discussed contract extension in recent weeks. Adam Wells, Bleacher Report. Are the Cowboys close to backing up the Brinks truck for Trevon Diggs? It is being reported that the Cowboys and Diggs representatives have discussed a new contract for the All-Pro cornerback. ESPN's Jeremy Fowler reported on SportsCenter on Saturday morning that the Cowboys have had some talks in recent weeks with Diggs about a new deal. This is a top cornerback in the league, one of the best, 17 interceptions the last 3 years. I'm told that the Cowboys and Diggs have had like some check-in moments about a potential contract extension over recent weeks this offseason. And so, certainly both sides could be open to that. The market now for cornerbacks at the top, about $21 million per year, so we'll see how close Diggs could get to that in the next few months. Brad Spielberger of Pro Football Focus recently projected a 4-year extension for Diggs worth $81 million total. The $20.25 million average annual salary would rank second among all cornerbacks, behind Jair Alexander of the Green Bay Packers.